In the Yale puppet experiments, 3-month-old infants watch a simple drama. One character tries to open a box, a second character helps, and a third slams it shut. When those infants are later asked to choose between them, they almost universally reach for the helper. Within the organic Quranic methodology, a framework that treats the Quran as a technical governance manual, this built-in preference is called fitra. Fitra is the innate cognitive orientation that recognizes and favors cooperative order over destructive chaos. We arrive in this world as highly active evaluators of social physics, equipped to detect the difference between actions that support a system and those that break it. In this earliest state, the perception engine is remarkably efficient. The infant hasn't yet been trained to ignore what is happening in favor of what they are told about it. Lacking societal categories, infants focus their attention on agency, the ability to make choices, and action. They process the world through the results of behavior, rather than superficial labels. This dynamic maps the difference between systemic synergy and destructive friction. The uncorrupted mind is tuned to favor synergy, selecting for the highest degree of protocol fidelity within a network. This preference for frictionless flow maximizes the stability of the entire system. It is a built-in rejection of the drag caused by uncoordinated or hostile actions. This raises a difficult question for us as adults. If we begin with a mind that is naturally aligned with synergy and rejects friction, why does our adult world often run on the exact opposite? The shift occurs as we grow, when our original disposition is layered over with the weight of cultural programming. As the infant moves into the learner state, their brain begins to prioritize the massive influx of data from the outside world. This is where they learn the definitions, roles, and rules provided by their specific culture. This developmental phase introduces what the governance framework calls the Iblis capacity. Iblis represents our innate internal capacity for error and self-deception. As a cognitive function, Iblis is the tendency to prioritize social conformity and tribal survival over objective truth. It creates a noise in our processing that favors the safety of the group over the accuracy of our perception. This internal noise overwrites our original ability to see functional reality. It teaches the brain to stop looking at what a person does and instead focus on man-made labels like race, class, or status. Over time, the label becomes the only data point that matters. We stop evaluating the person's agency and begin judging them solely by the categories society has assigned them. The result is the Faro filter, restricting the worldview to scarcity and control. It renders reality through tribalism, making it impossible to see the system's unity. This blinds the observer to functional truth. Actions are invisible, only labels remain. This failure is seen when a highly qualified professional is rejected solely because of skin color. The observer's operating system has effectively crashed, discarding valuable resources because of a cosmetic rendering error. This form of adult prejudice represents a breakdown of our cognitive accuracy. It's the result of an interface so cluttered with cultural noise that it can no longer see the world as it actually functions. Recovering from this state isn't a matter of returning to the passive innocence of an infant. Infants lack the complex schemas needed to manage a modern civilization. The solution is a process called tazkiyah. Tazkiyah is the deliberate, disciplined purification of the self, specifically aimed at removing the cognitive noise and biases we've accumulated. This process acts like a press, applying force to our experiences to strip away superficial labels and extract the core truth. By clearing this network noise, we reduce internal friction and restore the ability to discern the actual value of people and systems. This is the work of unlearning. By consciously removing our biases, we move past the confusion of adulthood, regaining the clarity of our original disposition. When this clarity is achieved, an individual functions as a sovereign steward. A steward is someone whose perception is no longer controlled by tribal malware or superficial apparitions. A steward aligns their actions with the laws of absolute divine governance. They move beyond mere reaction, designing their reality for systemic resonance. This alignment is essential for civilizational progress. A network only grows as fast as its nodes communicate without the friction of bias. When our perception is cleared, the drag caused by prejudice is removed. We stop fighting against ghosts and start building according to the actual physics of governance. Morality is more than just a feeling. It is the disciplined alignment of our perception with the truth, allowing us to build a world functioning as perfectly as the mind we were born with.